Stephen, what is the issue here where he had to do this demeaning stunt of signing a reporter's arm?
Well, I mean, Turnbull did a deal to try and protect Western Australian seats that has turned out to be extraordinarily generous to the Western Australian state government.
Too generous?
Well, it was a deal that Turnbull did and we committed to keep it. And as you saw from that front page, the West Australians take this very seriously. Whether you believe it's a confected campaign, whether you believe it's blown out, they're now putting the feet to the fire of the Prime Minister and saying, give us a vow, give us a guarantee, sign someone's arm.
But do you get my point that he couldn't just say, of course I'm going to do it, that it's an issue that he actually...
No, we said, I think...
Now his credibility is so shot, he's got to do a cheap stunt like that.
No, I mean, I think if you remember, I said, when they, faced with the decision and dilemma that they had, do they do what was going to be necessary to alleviate Australians' cost of living? It would take some paint off. And today was an example where that paint, it's clearly that paint's been taken off.
But you're right to criticise Turnbull for that deal. It is absurdly generous. And but now, which government would dare, which party would dare to wind it back? I mean, it's just ridiculous. The landing of the boat, Michael, I mean, it's only the second in, about 3 months to land under this government. Mind you, it was years before that it landed. Is it a real problem or is it a political and symbolic problem?
Are we thinking that there are going to be hundreds of thousands of boat arrivals of people arriving under this government? No. But what it does is reinforces the message that Labor are hopeless on this issue. And as we've seen from your videos, they don't believe in turnbacks. It's a bit like us, trying to argue about Medicare. I mean, we lose Medicare arguments. They're going to lose these arguments. The real significance, Andrew, is not that there's going to be, dozens and dozens of boats as there were in the past. There are 5 seats Labor have at risk in Western Australia. Tangney, Hasluck, Swan, Pearce, Cowan, I think. There's 5 of them. Curtin. 5 of them at risk. Now, some of those seats had 14% swings against the coalition at the election 2022. All of those 5 are at risk. That will plunge the government into crisis. That's his real trouble, that people in Western Australia are thinking, here we go again.
How much of a problem is it? Because I tend to agree with Michael.
This has been thrashed out at an ALP national conference. Our policy has been consistent now for 5 or 6 years. I think you might even go back to 2016.
Yeah, but so were the tax-free, Michael, tax cuts.
2 weeks ago, you sat in the same chair and you said, what the Liberal Party wants to talk about is tax. Every time we talk about tax, we win. And you just don't seem to want to talk about tax anymore in the lead up to Dunkley. Peter Dutton,
very happy to.
It is like a wooden stake or vampire at the moment.
To be fair,
debate around
very happy to talk about tax.
The Liberals didn't send this boat over.
They're going woohoo, and they're taking all the political advantage of it, and they'll keep trying to milk it every day between now and the Dunkley by-election because they can't.
But it's a concatenation of events. I mean, I showed you the clips. Neither Albanese or Giles seem to believe this.
Some of those were 10 years old.
No, I know, but their heart isn't in it. You don't put that extra effort in if your heart's not in it, and you're seeing the results.
Was straightforward. We're not seeing any results. Even Michael's not trying to pretend.
2 votes.
Even Michael's not trying
People
to pretend.
let out.
Even Michael's not trying to pretend
the asylum seeker intake raised.
There's
more
no
Palestinians coming. I mean, of course you're seeing
no substantive change to the arrangements that have been there from the Liberal Party. And we've been in government 18 months and you've had a couple of boats turn up. So
it's not just that. I'm just saying.
There's no signal to the people smugglers. But what Peter Dutton will want to talk about is people smugglers rather than tax cuts.